Hey, what's up, guys? So, I wanted to just come on, do a quick live, talk about a couple of things that I've been seeing over the last few weeks. So, if you're looking, or if you know someone that's looking to get into the market, the housing market this year, right? There's a ton of talk about interest rates, what they're going to do. The reality is, no matter what interest rates are, people do buy homes, right? It definitely helps when they're lower. The rates are lower, more people buy. But I was listening to one of the experts that I follow, very, very heavily follow. He's one of the top experts in the field of mortgages, and many other industries for that matter. But he was just mentioning that the inventory is so low in multiple places within this country, right? Multiple markets. Every market is obviously going to be a little bit different, but overall, there's just a lot less inventory, which is driving up the prices. So, although interest rates are low and may possibly get lower as we move into the year, there's not enough inventory right now. And as we get closer to springtime, summertime, that inventory is probably going to drop even more. So what is that doing? It's forcing a lot of the maybe lower end bars as far as price range is what I'm referring to. So, you know, that lower $100,000, maybe under $200,000 range, they're finding themselves in multiple offer situations almost all the time right now. All right, I see it. They're having to bid against multiple offers, or they're having to bid more than asking price in some cases. So it's going to be an interesting ride this next few months. It's going to be incredibly interesting over the next few months as we start to pick up steam in the market, the real estate market, refinance market is still going to be, it's still going to be relatively high initially, but we're in a purchase market, right? As crazy as 2020 was with refinances, it was still very much a purchase market. It just didn't get the amount of attention as maybe refinances did. It was still super hot last year. So I know for me personally, I didn't do a ton of refinancing, but purchase business was just great last year. So that was one of the things that came up on this podcast that I was listening to earlier today. Shout out to Housing Wire and Barry Habib, because those are two resources that I use almost on a daily basis to get feedback, get information, follow the market, see what they're projecting and so forth. So great resources. The other thing is, if you are a homeowner, wannabe homeowner, all right? If you are self-employed, this is a big deal coming up, because we're right about that time where people start doing taxes. If you're self-employed, you want to own a home, question comes up, hey, how much income do I need to qualify for a home? Well, first of all, I can't answer that question, all right? I cannot answer that question. What I can do is tell you how much you can qualify for based on what the income is you provide me. And then, of course, we're going to look through tax returns to verify the amount of money that you say you make versus what you actually put on your tax return, okay? As a mortgage lender, we can't qualify you on income that you don't really pay taxes on, okay? So I had a client that is looking to own a home, self-employed. They wrote off a ton of stuff, all right? I can't tell you how much money you need to make, in order to qualify for a home as a self-employed. I'm talking about self-employment specifically. I'm talking about you needing to know how much money. All I can do is tell you, you give me what you say you make. Of course, we're gonna verify that. Based on that, and based on your not your daily, but your monthly liabilities, what you pay, minimum payments on all your debts and things like that, I can tell you based on that what we could qualify you for, okay? Now, what you do with your taxes and your accountant, that is your business, right? But just keep in mind, you can't have this both ways. Okay, self-employed, you can't have it both ways. You can't not pay taxes, right? You can't not pay taxes on income. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this, by the way. Okay, if you want to write off everything, you go right ahead and do it. But it only typically comes back to bite people in the butt when they want to own a home, right? There's pretty much nothing that you can't go purchase without pulling tax returns for multiple years, other than a home. All right, there's really no other purchase that you're going to make unless you're maybe talking about, a business loan or acquiring a business. That's something different. But for most people, okay, other than a home, there's nothing else that you probably can't go purchase if you're self-employed and you write off everything. Okay, let me say that again. If you are self-employed and you write off everything, I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but you write off a ton of stuff and you claim very little income. I'm not even going to give a number, just very, very little income because you want to minimize what you pay in taxes, okay? That's fine. You can probably go purchase whatever else you want other than a home because we are going to look at your tax returns. Now, you want to start to get into non-QM and that's a completely different conversation, right? I'm not talking about non-qualified mortgages. That's not what I'm talking about because they are out there. There's very few of them, but we'll start to see some of that come back this year. For example, a non-qualified mortgage would be like a bank statement loan, right? Where we don't necessarily need to get tax returns from you. We're just going to go by deposits that you make in your bank and we qualify you that way. Okay, yes, they exist. There's very few now, but they're probably going to come back slowly over this year and into maybe 2022. Hopefully things start to pick up a little bit more over this next 12 months. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about traditional type loan, conventional FHA, Fannie Freddie. I'm talking about traditional type financing. Okay, so as you prepare for tax season, which is about to hit here in the next few weeks, just keep that in mind if you're self-employed, right? If you want to own a home, you can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. People don't want to pay taxes. They want to own a home, all right? You got to show income, right? You got to show some income if you want to own a home. So do what you need to do with your accountant. I would ask your accountant or tell your accountant, should I say, I plan to own a home, whether it be this year or next year. You need to let your accountant know, right? Because they want to minimize your tax liabilities legally, of course. They want to limit, minimize your tax liabilities because that's what a lot of people want. They want the accountant to minimize the taxes, right? I was self-employed. I get it. I completely understand. But you just got to keep that in mind when you're looking to own a home. I wish accountants would actually ask everybody that's self-employed. That should be like a question. Do you plan on owning a home in the next 12 to 24 months, right? Because it can come back and bite you in the butt when you write off a ton of stuff and you show very little income, and then in 12 months you wanna buy a home. So just wanted to bring that up. It's that time of year. Again, taxes are gonna be tax season is about to hit here, pretty much mid-January through April 15th, of course. It's tax season. So if you are self-employed, keep that in mind. If you got a question about what I just went through, please hit me up. Hit me up here, and or you can just shoot me a DM. All right. Just wanted to share that with you guys. You guys have an awesome